What is going on, everybody? This your boy Sean, Puff Comics 83, and I'm back with another episode chatting with the comic community, number 80. I'm joined by a man who's always first here, Big Will Comics. What's going on, Will?
I have arrived.
You have arrived indeed. So, I figured we start off the show talking about the recent news that happened this week. The legendary comic artist George Perez announced that he has terminal cancer, and that was like huge news that went out throughout the comic book community and the artist world. George Perez is one of the most legendary artists. Known for his runs on Teen Titans and Wonder Woman, and I everybody got to share their stories with George. Post their pictures meeting him, and it's quite sad hearing that news. And you know, um, he said he's gonna fight it, but we all know when it comes to cancer, it's a tough beast to fight.
Yeah.
But our prayers are with him, and George Perez is legendary, and he'll always be in our hearts. Unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to meet him the last three times. I missed out, and the Delta variant kind of ruined that chance this past year. So, but it's very sad to see that this happened to such a great, nice man as George Perez, because he's an awesome person. I've heard a lot of great things about people meeting him, and he always give nice, tight hugs because he loved his fans and he always appreciated doing sketches for them. And I know this man next to me, Big Will, encountered George Perez and even shared his photo with him. So I want to give the floor to you on what he meant to you and what was like
All
meeting him.
right. Well, but if you don't care, put us in the smaller boxes together. That way I don't jump off screen when I turn around and stuff. But yeah, man, George, you find out two things about him when you meet him. One is he's a goober, and he loves everybody. He never charges for his signature. He would always just be happy no matter what you put in front of him. He loved signing and meeting the fans. And the second thing you'd learn about him is he was a bit of a dirty old man. Near the end there, when he basically retired, he went to only two conventions: Dragon Con, which is where I met him multiple times, and Fetish Con. So, yeah. But he's always a joy to meet, and you'll have a story just about every time. And he loves taking pictures with people. He gets in there with you and puts his arm around you and everything. Uh, Always has a smile on his face.
How many times have you met him? Once or multiple times?
Like, I think four.
Four times?
Yeah. And the first time I didn't get my picture with him, he asked, "Do you want a picture?" And I'm like, "No, thanks." And then I was like, "You know what? I should really take the opportunity to get a picture with these people, especially if they offer." So next time I went through, I was like, "I'm getting a picture this time." He goes, "Okay." He was excited about it. And he come in and hugged me, and we took the picture.
That's
Kind of
awesome,
funny.
man. Yeah, I've always heard how George is excited, and he loved meeting his fans, and he loved the cosplayers even more, especially
Yeah,
the Starfire ones.
especially the Starfires, because they were always scantily clad. That you can him going to FetishCon makes much more sense when you realize how he drew Starfire.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's
man,
always funny when I remember going to a panel of his, and when it was over, he took pictures, and there was a bunch of girls there, scantily clad with they were all dressed up as Starfire, and of course Starfire's real name is Coriander, and so George is like, "Oh yeah, yeah, let me get a picture with all my Corey." And he just had this grin on his face. You're like, "Yeah, you know you like it."
It's hilarious, man. That dude was something else, but he was an amazing artist.
Yeah, he
That
was.
that's one thing you can't take away is the amount of work he did and the amount of people that he could put on the cover. Like that man can put 100
Oh yeah,
characters on the cover,
like
and
he did all the Teen Titans work. He did the Infinity Gauntlet. He did the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
yeah,
You talk about a lot of characters. There you go.
yeah, that run right there. I have uh, a CBCS I won on the giveaway, the Death of Flash, and it's signed by Perez and Wolfman. And the amount of work he put into that series, because I also have the trade. That artwork is insane. It's
Yeah.
like how can this man? It takes a lot of focus for you to put all that detail and all these characters within these panels. And George is one of those guys that can do it and nail it.
Well, he did say during Crisis he wanted to draw every single DC character that there ever was, so that he found a way to put everyone in there somewhere, even if they weren't involved in the story. He would draw them. Like I'm pretty sure you could find like Catman somewhere if you look hard enough in the pages
Yeah,
of
he'll,
that.
he'll, he'll put the most obscure character in there just to top, have
Yeah,
it part of it. Characters
yeah,
that when you look at it, it's a multi-versal event, so it makes sense to have all those characters from the multiverse in there.
yeah.
But George was like he's going to squeeze them all in there, and this another thing he did with the Avengers run. He did with Kurt Music is that there was an issue where it was like double splash page of them fighting multiple villains, and he made sure he got everybody included in the shot of that splash page. And George is a master at you know doing those big panels with like 15, 20 people in it. He wanted to get everybody in that shot, and that was one of his big trademarks that he can always squeeze people in that shot.
Yeah, and he was also good at just doing a simple cover where you had one character and then a solid background, like the first Taskmaster.
Yeah,
That cover, that's George Perez. It's simple, just a green background and the character. That's it.
that's all you need. And he was great at that. He excelled at that.
Yeah.
And another book that I have great art, and one of my favorite covers is the Jla Avengers crossover. With Superman holding the
Oh
shield and
yeah,
and
yeah.
the hammer. I
That was
love that.
great.
I love that cover. What's
Yeah,
up, Enja?
but let's not forget that he's not dead yet.
He's not dead yet.
He's still with us, and he had mentioned that he would like to try and do at least one more, so everyone can get an opportunity to send something in. And he also mentioned that he would like to have at least one thing where he could meet and hug all of his fans, which to me means he wants to try and do the best way for signatures would probably be CBCS or a CGC private signing, and most likely he would do probably CGC. And that also means the best place to meet and hug all his fans would be at a convention of some sort. So I have a feeling he's going to be setting up a CGC private signing and announcing a convention. I don't know where or when, where he'll be, or maybe a few different shops in an area or something to where he can meet people. So we need to be on the lookout for that.
Well, I do know he had to cancel MegaCon because of the whole Delta thing. So if he can by chance come to MegaCon next year, I'm down for it. Hell, if he goes to HeroCon, I might have to travel up.
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem though. Is my convention, MegaCon, HeroesCon, they're far enough out.
Yeah,
He was given 6 months to a year. Maybe he makes it, maybe not. He probably will try and do something in January or February for the most likely chance, or at least that's what my thinking would be if I was told 6 months to a year. Because if you think about it, April, May, and June are a bit far
that's
out.
about June is the 6 months. So
Yeah. So
he,
I don't know. We got to keep our eyes peeled, I guess, and see what is announced.
yeah. But he's definitely going to look to do something within the January and February, you know, and I'm definitely going to be on the lookout because I know there's a small con in January, you know, in Orlando, and then there's another one in Tampa. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, there's also some in New Orleans, Louisiana, and then there's uh, another one I think in February in that area too. So he's got plenty of options. It's just a matter of which one is he does he pick or does he go a different route? Like how who
Yeah.
knows?
But one thing's for sure, whether I meet him or not, you know, I always know that he's George Perez, and you know he had a great career, you know, from going
Yeah.
back, you know, to the Bronze Age and all the way
Mhm.
to even his recent stuff, you know, that he did before he retired. You know, the man's
Well,
put in a lot of work.
well, if you don't ever get to meet him, you will probably at least get the opportunity to get something signed by him.
Yeah,
So you can at least look forward to that, if not actually meeting him. But I guess we'll have to just wait and see.
yeah,
December is Christmas time. It's December, so probably nothing's going to really happen this month.
no.
So it'll be next year.
Like I said, January we definitely going to be on the lookout. But yeah, that's our thoughts on George Perez. You know, awesome guy, awesome artist, legendary creator. Lots of creations that he made throughout DC, Marvel, and even the independent scene. So moving on to the recent episode of Hawkeye. Now, I liked this episode a lot. You know, a lot more than the previous ones because you know we finally get to see the Black Widow. For anybody that ain't seen it, you might as well tune it off, even though we only got one watching. But I love the whole ending part. You know, where what's the name? Kate is fighting Echo, and then Hawkeye is fighting this Widow on the outside. That he's like, wait a minute, now who he's fighting here, and then we get
Yeah,
the
he
reveal at
thought he
the
was
end that
fighting
it's
Echo.
Yelena. Yeah,
Yeah, and
and
then
we get the
it's
reveal.
unmasked as Yelena, and you're like, what? And
And I like Angel. You're not caught up. Oh no.
well, get out of here then. We
But
love you.
I like that, you know, after he took off her mask, she immediately shot him and incapacitated him.
Yeah,
And
and
if it was for Bishop, Kate being there, she would have took him out completely.
yeah, and if you notice, her widow's sting is still red, like the original Red Room and everything. But if you notice, Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, Natasha, hers were blue
Yeah.
when she was shot. So I wonder if she's going to be like sort of the bad guy still, kind of, sort of, maybe, and then turn into a good guy, and they'll change her stinger color from red to blue. I wonder.
I hope they keep it red. You know, like it just makes her different.
Well,
You
I
know,
like
she
it
don't
red
have.
better myself, but that's not what
Yeah.
they have done. So that's what makes me think that.
Yeah, I hope they keep it red. But you know, it was like
Yeah.
we knew this episode was building up to her character.
Yeah.
And I like even in the last episode, everybody is talking about bringing in the Kingpin. You know, we get to see this background character. You know, who
Yeah.
touches Echo's face when she was a child, and there's certain scenes shot in Hell's Kitchen.
I don't understand why everyone's going Kingpin though. I mean, yeah, that makes sense, and I'd love to see Kingpin or Vincent D'Onofrio. He's a great actor, but what makes everyone go immediately to Kingpin? All we've seen is a hand, and they're in New York. Yeah, a lot of the series will probably have a shot of Hell's Kitchen or Spanish Harlem or somewhere
Because
in
the
New York.
Kingpin rules New York, man. And it's just it's so obvious. You know, we all know that Daredevil is coming, or at least
Yeah,
Matt
but
Murdock
not
is going to come.
necessarily in this show. He most likely is going
Not
to be a
this
first
show, but
appear
we know
in the Spider-Man
if
movie.
Matt Murdock is there, then Kingpin's not far
Yeah,
along.
he's probably definitely there. Just where is the question? But here's something that everybody does review shows and all that, and I keep looking at this. I think it's Nerdrotic or something is the name of the channel, and it I can't understand why they think what they think, but they have done a review of the Hawkeye show, and they're saying that it's a big flop on Disney Plus, which makes no sense to me. I think it's doing really well, and they also say that it's so woke and so bad that no one's enjoying it. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand where you're coming from with that. It's doing a lot from the comics. I'm really enjoying it. A lot of the other guys are enjoying it. And I don't like that woke rap either. So I wouldn't watch it if it was all that. But it's not. So where are they getting this from? Are you are you
They're,
are
they're
people just
people
wanting
that
to
don't.
hate to hate?
Yeah, they don't even read the comics for them to say that. This is directly from the Matt Fraction run.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? We knew this shit was coming.
Yeah.
Like, if you see the landscape of how Marvel is setting up their future, with Kate Bishop, with Miss Marvel
Yeah.
coming, Kamala Khan and stuff, they're going for those younger characters that they created within the last 5-10 years. So a lot of these characters are going to be coming into play. So I don't understand why they even want to say it's woke when this
That's
is
what I'm
fucking
saying.
already established in the comics.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't understand why you could say that it would flop because I went on Rotten Tomatoes and critics are saying it's like a 92% and audience is at a 78. That's pretty dang high. 78 means most people are enjoying the show. That is not a flop. That is one that will get another season. Well, if
Well,
we don't know
it
yet if these
depends
Disney
on the
Plus Marvel
views.
shows are the ones that'll all get seasons, or if some of them are one and done, like WandaVision, I would say that's probably going to be a one and done. Loki, they already said that one's going to have a second. I don't know if Hawkeye will or not, but 78% audience score, that's good. I mean, it's not like a 98%, mind you, but it's still really good. That
Yeah,
means the show's doing well. People like it.
yeah. Like, I don't know where they get the information from. Whether it's the
Or
view
maybe they're just
counts on
saying that to
something
get
like
people
that.
to look, I guess.
Where
I don't
where
know.
where it counts on streaming. How it's trending. Like, I don't really get it, but I'm enjoying the show. It's
I
it's
am
it's
too.
not one of my favorites out of these shows, and
Well, yeah.
that'll probably be something that we'll look back on when Hawkeye's done. Like, what was our favorites and what was our weakest of the year in terms of these Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
But I think the show is pretty good in its own, and
Yeah.
we're finally getting spotlight on Clint, because let's be honest, in the movies
Yeah.
he's always been like a background character,
He's a
little
guy
development.
with a bow and arrow fighting robots.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost alluded that he wasn't really much of anything. So it's good to see him get a spotlight show. And
Yeah.
I like the fact that he wasn't even named in the movies. Like, he wasn't called Hawkeye in the movies.
Yeah.
The fact that they're establishing it in this show as a title with the
Yeah.
cake coming up with it, I think it's pretty cool.
I would agree with you. And I would say, I don't know which one's my favorite because a lot of people like, there's this one guy, I won't mention his channel name, but he watched the first episode and then he stopped and he hated the show. But after everyone telling him to watch the next episode, and of course by this time the third one had come out, he watched it and he's like, okay, now I kind of like it. So I think some people may just watch the first episode and that's it. And I'm like, okay, they released 1 and 2 for a reason. You need to watch 1 and 2, and then
Yeah.
you'll probably want to watch number 3.
Like, if they release the first 2 episodes, I'm not gonna watch one and say, "Oh, I don't like it," and not even bother the second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch both of them,
It's
so
the,
it
it's the
gives
same
me a
thing with
reason.
WandaVision. They released 1 and 2. And we're like, okay, watch both of these, then you might want to watch number 3. a lot of people watch one and they were like, I hate this. And I'm like, well, you're an idiot because it released 1 and 2. Watch 1 and 2 and then make the decision.
Yeah.
They release them like that for a reason.
Plus, with these shows, I don't think you can truly make judgment on just watching one episode.
Like, no, you can't, because it's a comic book on the visual medium of television, basically. So you got to watch at least half of it to get an idea of what it's like, if not the whole thing. It's like reading the first issue of a 5-part series in a comic. It's like, well, you got to pick up the next issue to see what's going on.
Yeah, and mostly what I like is that these are not like overly long seasons. You're not committed to 13 episodes and stuff. Yeah. They're 6 to 8 episodes tops. So to me, those are much easier to handle than something that's like 13 to 16 episodes. And you
like regular television, 26.
Yeah, and they take mid-season breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you don't need a break. You're a TV star. Come on.
And that was the thing with the Netflix shows, is that I loved the Daredevil the most, but sometimes those was a struggle to get through because each episode was an hour. Like, you had a full hour, and then the next episode's an hour, and the next episode an hour, and you could binge watch it.
Yeah, but they at least released the whole season for you.
Yeah.
So you could watch, okay, this long, I'm going to watch these 3 episodes, and then I'll decide, what to do. But I think everybody watching Daredevil, I think it's episode 2 where he does that hall fight. That right there gets them.
Yep. And that's the problem. You're going to give a bad review for one episode and say you're not going to watch it again. I'm like, well, if you're going to say that the show sucked because of one episode and not even give the whole thing a chance, then, why even bother doing a video on it?
Well, and I would understand that if they released only 1 episode. But they released 2. The purpose is to get you to watch the first 2 so you'll have an idea of what they're doing. If they thought they could get you with 1 episode, they would only release the 1. So, yeah, you need to watch 2 if they release 2, which they did with this particular show.
And if they release 2 and it's still not up to your liking, then, you're not going to like it. Because there's people out there that watch 1-2 episodes and they feel like it's not for me. I'm just going to stop. And that's fine. But, don't go based off of, 1 episode, it sucks, it's trash, but yet there's another episode right there waiting for you to watch it.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, anyway, I'm looking forward to these next 2 episodes to see how it wrap up. I will agree with Xavier on our Comic Call Crew chat that I feel like the way these 4 episodes has went, it feels like it needs another episode or 2 because this is kind of going quickly and there's still a lot of question marks happening.
Well, they also might add some minutes onto the last one or something.
Yeah, we just got Yelena in the show and we only got 2 episodes left. And the last episode is probably going to be an hour.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this definitely feel like it should be an extra episode or something like that. But I'm looking forward to them. Now, Will, are you looking forward to Spider-Man this coming weekend?
We've already worked out a schedule with my buddy. We're going to be watching it on the 23rd. I refuse to watch stuff like that when it just comes out because it's always late at night. I don't like that. It's always crowded. I don't like that. People yelling and screaming, and I'm trying to hear the thing. I don't like that. So, yeah, we're going to watch it. But we're going to watch it on the 23rd, like a matinee or maybe a 7 o'clock or something, and then we'll go eat before. We'll have us a good time on the 23rd. That's when we're watching.
When I go to see movies on opening weekend, I never go at night, and I never go with the crowd. I tend to go matinee time, and I don't even care about whether or not I need to see it in the IMAX. I'll see it in regular showing.
Yeah, well, our theater is one of them that has the one screen that is the IMAX screen, and then it has all the normal screens. So if it's available for the IMAX, I'll pay the extra $3 to watch the IMAX. But If it's not available in the IMAX, I'm totally okay with that because it's still bigger than my TV here. This is 49 inches.
Yeah.
The movie theater's a lot bigger than that.
Yeah, man, and I'm so looking forward to it. Like I said, the Marvel Spider-Man movies hasn't really been my thing. Like I like them, but I have I always have issues with how they want to keep Spider-Man in the high school setting and stuff like that.
Well, apparently, this is the last one for that.
Yeah, and then they're supposed to do 3 more movies, from what I heard.
Well, apparently, she spoke too soon. And it's like, oh, we're thinking about it. They might do another 3, which I hope they do because I don't see, like Tom Holland was saying, I want to do this when I'm 35, and I'm thinking like, well, then you're an idiot. I would love, as long as you're in shape, man. I'd love to do that movie, from 25 to 35, and have a good 10 years in, and then drop it, be done, and let the next person be like Miles or Miguel, or one of the other guys take over as the Spider-Man because that's a cushy gig. And I mean, it's not like he's being asked to do it. It's not like Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman started in his 20s, late 20s, and he like ended in his 40s, almost 50 something years old, playing Wolverine. He played him for like 17, 18 years. We're asking Tom Holland to go from 25 to 35 and boom, done. I think he should.
Hey, man, it's a franchise. It's Spider-Man, and as long as you can, like you said, stay in healthy shape and do all that stuff, he should be able to do it till he's 35. And I that will be great because we get to see the adult Peter Parker that I grew up reading.
And plus, think about that. If we can manage 25 to 35, somewhere in that range right there, that means we could have 30 years of Spider-Man, and we could go from this one to Miles, then from Miles to Miguel, 2099 Spider-Man, and then we could, after 30 years, I guess we could do a revamp and restart, because it'd be time for, then. Or maybe we could do a different Spider-Man, and by that time they'll have another one.
Well, a lot of people is looking forward to Miles, in the next set of Spider-Man movies. And we had the teaser the week before on the next Spider-Verse movie, which people are excited for.
Yeah, 2099's in the Spider-Verse thing, but yeah, I think Miles should be there when Peter Parker is going away. That's why I'm thinking, at the end of the 10-year run or whatever, or at the end of the 6th movie of Spider-Man with Tom Holland, that should be, I think, when we get Miles. And then Miles should be able to take it and carry the torch on his own for, the same amount of kind of movies and everything. And then we have this, it's all Miles. And then later we have all Miguel or, stuff like that. I think we got a good I think we got a good 30-year block we could do with 3 Spider-Man and them being in all these different movies. I think it would be really great.
I would think that they would stretch out Miguel until we actually hit 2099 so they can finally do it.
That would be hilarious. But we also wouldn't probably be alive to see it.
Nope. But we're going to see him in Across the Spider-Verse, which I'm excited for.
That'll work.
That
would be funny. And Marvel movies in 2099, we have a new Spider-Man.
And then they could do all the 2099 movies.
And at that point, movies are made, and then they're just like beamed into your brain or whatever.
Oh, man. That'd be so crazy. But yeah, Miles is definitely the one that everybody's looking forward to. And we've talked about it on the Comic Call about how that Spider-Man 2099 one has been going up. And I'm like, man, people, you should have had that book by now. That book was still available way before even.
I can still go to shops and probably find that in the dollar bin.
Yeah, they're still out there. You can still find that book for a reasonable price.
Both of them, the black cover anniversary ASM and the 2099 number 1. You can probably find both of them in a dollar bin.
Yeah, that's how I got all those hologram covers of Spider-Man in the dollar bins.
Yeah, but I think Miles is worth a wait for us, and I think he's also worth the wait for the studios to make sure they have an excellent way of setting up Miles Morales and then letting him take it and go. So I think it's going to be a while yet for live action, and that's a good thing because I think Miles Morales is worth the wait.
Most definitely. And I'm definitely looking forward to Across the Spider Verse and like I said, No Way Home. I can't wait to see because I started watching some of the old Spider-Man movies. Starting with Tobey Maguire, and like I said it before, but Spider-Man 2 is still one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. And I'm
Oh
looking
yeah, no
forward to
doubt,
Alfred Molina, seeing him again as Doc Ock. I'm
dude.
so
I am so
ecstatic for that.
pumped. I am so pumped.
And William Defoe is another great actor. When he was
Oh yeah,
cast as a Norman Osborn, I was like, that was perfect for him because he could play that psychotic
oh
Norman.
yeah. The only problem is he's getting so old now that this is probably his last time to play like the Green Goblin, like an actual supervillain because I think he's almost 70. If
He probably is 70.
Yeah, I'm gonna look him up real quick.
He was pretty good in the Aquaman movie.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Oh, he's 66. July,
66.
so he'll be 67 in July of next year.
Yeah, I'm excited for him and Alfred Molina being together in that
Oh
movie
yeah,
because
I am
they
so excited for that.
you know
And they fixed Electro.
yeah
That
that,
movie, I love the Amazing Spider-Man as far as the Peter Parker. I think Garfield did a good job, and I love Emma Stone, and she did a great Gwen Stacy. But those villains, man, they had
we
some crappy villains. That Paul Giamatti should have never even attempted Russian accent with the Rhino, and then they make it a mechanical Rhino. Makes no sense. And then they have the Electro, and he's blue. He's never been blue in the books ever, and it's like see-through skin. And it's Jamie Foxx.
it was bad.
That did not work at all.
I mean, the first Amazing Spider-Man was good, but the second one,
That was the one with the lizard, right?
I think, yeah,
Yeah, so that one was okay. That was okay. The lizard's never been the best villain, so as long as it didn't have janky CGI, that would work. That pretty easy. The
you
second
know,
one though,
yes, that was a stinker. The lizard is an underrated villain because of the tragedy of a doctor, transforming into a lizard and
yeah,
the family aspect that he had. I
yeah,
thought the cartoon did a good job of highlighting
yeah.
that, but you know, at the same time, he wasn't really never used justice in terms of the movies. Yep, 50-cent dollar bills.
Yeah, but yeah. The only problem is because of the tragedy angle. The only way that the lizard can be a villain is just he's the mindless villain and he's just going around attacking stuff to try and like heal himself. I mean, there's no real villainy in that, except the fact that what he's doing to get what he needs. So that's why he's not the best villain compared to the others, and that's why I'm saying that it was pretty easy for that to be good as long as he looked good for the first movie. That was an excellent choice for villain because it was going to work.
Yeah. Another villain that I just came because the lizard had me thinking about Mr. Hyde. One of those villains that interacted with a couple of people in the Marvel comics, and I always liked the aspect of the Jekyll and Hyde story, you know, and that's what like Lizard was. He was a Jekyll and Hyde. We had Doctor
Mhm.
Kirk Connor's strange scientist, and then you had him transform into a lizard-like creature. So
I would like them to do a Doc Savage movie with The Rock as Doc Savage while he can still look good. I know that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I just popped in my head. I was like, I would love to see a Doc Savage movie with The Rock. The only problem with that is no one knows Doc Savage, So they would have to build that up and explaining to everybody. And I don't know how easy that would be, but I'd love to see an attempt.
Man, with the way Hollywood is running out of ideas and stuff, they should reach to Doc Savage. You know, get some of those characters out of obscurity.
Oh yeah.
You know, The Rock is too busy doing Shazam. Black Adam.
Well, that's right now.
So we don't know how far he's gonna go with that. You know, he might
Well,
be.
they can do more than one movie a year though. So Doc Savage will be great, and he'd have to keep in shape for the Black Adam and Doc Savage. So
Oh,
I mean,
that's no problem for him.
yeah, that's no problem. So he wouldn't have to worry about that. Matter of fact, that might even help him to stay in shape doing Doc Savage for another Black Adam.
He said, "Be happy. If they don't know something, they can't ruin it." Yeah, but I'm looking forward to this movie and what we got coming on the horizon next year. Now I still have not watched Eternals, and I know that's gonna. You did?
Yeah, and I won't ruin it for you or anything, but I will say, Eternals had a job to do, and that was to set up the origin of the Marvel universe of Earth and set up who the Eternals are and be a point of reference for things that happen later on. That was its job, is to be, a starting point, basically. The movie did its job, and that's it. It wasn't a great movie, but it did its job, so that means it's satisfactory, and it had two great end credit scenes, and that's what I'll say with the Eternals movie.
Well, I know it's coming to Disney Plus January, so I'll definitely be checking it out there. Because we said all along that we knew the Eternals was going to set up future movies.
Yeah,
you know,
and it everyone's wanting them to be super awesome and great, but even the comic run wasn't that great. I mean, think about it. No one has done an Eternals comic that's lasted a long time, and even Jack Kirby's didn't sell that well. No, Eternals has never sold well. So the only reason everyone knows Eternals is because of Jack Kirby. When he created it, he set up reasons for everything, like mutants, humans. Thanos is an Eternal. All this stuff came from that book. That's why it's so important. And the movie is essentially supposed to do the same thing, and it did its job, but that's all it did. So it's not a great superhero movie. It's not super awesome action or anything like that, but it is a satisfactory film in the fact that it did its job, which is to be a reference point for the future.
So since it did that job of being a reference point to the future of the MCU, do you think a sequel is necessary?
Um, a sequel is not necessary, but they will probably get one, or at least the Eternals will probably appear in something else.
Okay, because I was thinking like if this movie is like more
Well,
of setting up
at the
future
end of
stuff.
the movie, when it went to black screen, it did that. The Eternals will return.
Okay, so they're looking to continue doing the Eternals. Well, I wonder if those future movies will set up more stuff.
Probably. I imagine there'll be some movies and stuff happening with the multiverse, and we'll get references to things that we learned in Eternals, and then another Eternals movie will come out, and then that'll be more explanation of things that happened, and then it'll all, you know.
Oh, call.
Hello? Ah, boy, I hate those robocalls, man. They were Dusty Brick Brown. I heard describe the Eternals the same way, Will, but honestly, the Eternals have never really been a team book people check for, much like the Metal Man in DC. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So It had a job to do, and it did its job, and that's it.
Oh man, it's funny.
So I would say we're probably on the same wavelength now.
Yeah, I'm checking it out in January when it's on Disney Plus. Like I said, when we talked before about it, it wasn't a movie that I wanted to go to the theaters to see.
Yeah, I just haven't been to the theater in so long. Me and my buddy were like, we're going to see Eternals. So we did.
Nice. So, do you have any new books to show or returning books, CGC books, books that you got for sale? Oh, nice. Sign. You got that back this past week?
Uh-huh. And like everything, it'll be for sale at some point. Although if someone offers me like $350, it'll be sold right now. Yeah, first Iron Fist. And CCS actually, for once, did a good job. Usually they don't do that great a job. But on this particular book, they actually did a pretty good job.
Nice.
Yeah, I got this, and I did something pretty cool. I did a video about it with a Whodat. I go to the shop sometimes. It's called Total Nostalgia. It's in Trinity, or not Trinity, but well, yeah, it's technically I think in Trinity. Anyway, here in Alabama, and they give you a punch card, and every time you buy something that's $10 or more, you get a punch. Your last punch is 25% off whatever you bring up to the front. So I saved some money, and I brought up a whole bunch of slabs to the front. I spent like $500, and that was 25% off. A 25% off X amount led to $500. So that I picked out more than $500 worth. And one of the things I did was a 6.0 purple label ASM 41 first Rhino, and it was a C1 restoration. That's what purple label is. And what that C1 means is it's not much. It was very light and amateur. So it was small amount of color touch on cover. That's all it was. And apparently it's so small, I couldn't even see it when I broke out my black light and started looking. So it's already on its way. Well, actually, it's already at CGC. I'm going to try and get that color touch off and then get me a blue label back. Hopefully, it'll be no less than a 5.5 or a 5. And yeah, I'll magically create an extra $300-400 by doing that, just making it a blue label.
Nice.
So hopefully that works. And I also bought a dude had a price way lower than it should have been, and I got 25% off that additional. He had Captain America 109 retells his origin. That's the one where Jack Kirby has him busting through the newspaper, and the newspaper makes up the background.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 7.5 old label with white pages, CGC. And I got that for sale on my IG right now. I don't have it with me. It's in the other room. But it's I think I got it at a good deal too. White pages and all. And then I also bought, because of Jim Starlin is going to be at a convention I'm at, I picked this up.
Yep, so that earlier.
And I'm going to wait until I go to the convention and make sure he's there. People cancel sometimes, but as long as Starlin is still there, I'll be cracking this out and getting them to sign it.
Nice.
Because again, I got it with that 25% off, so I paid not that much.
Awesome, man. Can't wait for you to get that book signed and regraded.
I can't. I would. Yeah, me too. But I really want that ASM 41 to come back blue label.
What's up, Rob? Yeah, I picked up some my pool at my shop. Um, Nina Hawk's Nightmare Blog, #2 by Rodney Barnes. I enjoyed the first issue, like spinoff of Philadelphia. So I got that. Red Sonja Holiday Special, and I dropped the recent Red Sonja run. No, I didn't pick that book up. Wasn't It just wasn't my thing. Still enjoying Two Moons. I'm glad this book series is back. Another Image series I'm enjoying, Good Asian. This is #7. Um, I love this cover, Hardware Season 1, Issue #3. Great seeing some of these volume books get some great covers, and this is Dennis Cohen art.
You mean Milestone?
Yeah, milestone. Dune House Arteries #12. What's up, Remo?
What's happening?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Swamp Thing #10. There's 2 more issues left of this series. 12-issue run by V. I've been enjoying it. Really great Swamp Thing one. Superman Son of Kal-El annual with the return of Lex Luthor. Sitting on top of the world. Batman 89, #4. Bats and Catwoman. Gorgeous cover there. And I wasn't gonna pick this up, but I figured why not. Wonder Woman Historia of the Amazons. I got the variant cover.
Nice.
That Nubia?
Could be Nubia. But I haven't read it yet. So I'm looking forward to give that a shout. What's up, Remo?
What's happening?
So hey, explain Hardware to me, because I never read the Milestone stuff as a kid, and I know Static because of the cartoon, and I know a little bit about Icon, and that's it.
He's basically like their Tony Stark, in terms of he creates suits, that he wear. He's a businessman. He runs a corporation, and he does superheroing by night, but it's a lot more complex. He definitely does his stuff, but he's definitely like their version of Tony Stark. In terms of genius, philanthropist, businessman. What's up, Rob?
Hey, Sean.
So do you think the reason he's not as well known is because he's sort of a copy of Tony Stark?
Well, he's well known within the Milestone universe. I mean, he is their third top tier star behind Static and Icon. It's just that he's not going to get the play as those two because he's almost similar to Tony, and then he has differences from Tony, and I don't think that we'll see a Hardware cartoon or movie. But
we haven't even seen an Icon cartoon.
Yeah, and that's the character that we want to see.
Yeah, Static's the only
after
one.
Static. But they'll probably.
The only reason most people would know about the character. I'm sorry, I didn't want to talk over you. The reason most people know any of these characters is because of movies or TV. If they haven't appeared in a TV or movie yet, then people aren't going to be aware of it. Stick them in a movie or a TV series, give them a good writer and a decent animation team, and people will know what it is.
Yeah, I still feel like they should do more like TV/animation with Milestone stuff. Like that's what got Static popular was the cartoon series. Most people remember the Static cartoons, but they really didn't do much with Milestone as a whole outside of just Static, And you would have thought that the Static cartoon would have been a launching pad for them to do more Milestone project with the other characters, but they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, they tried introducing some of the milestone characters in the Action and Superman titles in the early 90s, but it was a basic crossover, and we really didn't see much more after that. If it would have really tried to do what they're doing with White Fox over at Marvel right now and integrate her into all these titles, bit by bit, not forced into a title just to put her there, it would work better.
Yeah. So, I'm hoping with this second incarnation of Milestone, we get more characters being pushed outside the static.
Ooh. Icon was in the Young Justice cartoon. I need to check that out.
Yeah. He was there.
And unfortunately, I haven't been watching much TV or movies, but I have been watching Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye is good.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. What's your thoughts on the recent
Why
episode?
anyone would think otherwise, I don't understand. Yeah, it's great.
Hawkeye is basically me. He wants to be left alone, and anytime somebody comes in to try and invade his world, he's like, are you working with her?
That's complex.
Yes.
Not really, but yeah. Can't leave my side.
No, I'm not.
I don't know who she is.
It's like, I hate this so much that I have to answer you yes, but
yeah. I just think that it's considering it's what 2 more episodes left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they haven't told us anything.
No,
that's why. Remember, X was saying in the group chat, like, you feel like it needs to be another episode or more.
I mean, it needs to be a few more episodes, but I mean, I don't know if that's for suspense or they just kind of ran out of ideas to kind of. Yeah. I mean, because it seems like they spent a lot of money in that second episode.
Oh yeah, the explosive arrows, as great as it looks,
the animation of that Pym particle and all that.
That was fun.
It was movie quality, and they can't keep that kind of level of budget up, so they have to have really good dramatic sequences. Like, it was very silent when you have Kate pulling up a sign saying, "It's okay that you can't be home for Christmas." I'm like, holy shit, this is gonna get an Emmy.
Yeah. Basically. Well, I mean, he's the first real like A-list character to be on the shows. You know what I mean? Like, everybody else are have star power, but he's
also the first regular guy.
Yeah, real Avenger. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he even said in the movie, "Listen, I'm next to a god, a super soldier, and I'm just a guy with a bow and arrow."
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I do think that they can add so much to the series. You know what I mean? Like, I think the series going forward, if they were to continue on the way they're going, like, it could last for. I don't think Hawkeye would need to be in it or will be in it, but going forward, they kind of have laid some groundwork where her character can still grow.
Yeah.
You know?
And this
that doesn't do anything for Young Avengers, because that means it's even further out, because they're still trying to develop her, but that's cool. You know what I mean? That gives more content to be created.
And they don't have to do consecutive year after year seasons. They can take a break, or even say, hey, Hawkeye this season is going to be Kate. Yeah. And we don't even figure in Renner.
Yeah.
Did you like how Kate was, calling the Hawkeye name? Because we never called him Hawkeye in the movies in terms of, how the characters called him that. They always called him Clint. But this is the first series where we get to see the Hawkeye name actually come to the forefront because of Kate.
So that's another thing that I kind of noticed, that kind of puts in perspective that he's really not who we think he is in those other movies. He's just, they're still like kind of just using him. He's not really he's not a hero yet. Even in his own eyes, he's not. They're just like, oh, it's Clint.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And on top of that, when we're looking at WandaVision, when we're seeing her finally be in costume, that one scene in the last episode with the LARPers, you need a costume, you need branding. Yeah. All of these shows that are coming out now are trying to get us a little bit closer to comic accurate kind of costuming. So by the end of the season, we might actually see him with the H on his forehead. And
I hope not.
Well, you noticed she was drawing that, remember?
Yeah, she was drawing
Yeah,
it.
she did draw that.
And then the LARPer was like, "Oh, we'll totally make your costume."
That's
I'm
why
not
I
kidding.
see with the LARPers being involved in the last episode, it's coming to that.
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, he's probably gonna put on the suit and not fill it, but he ain't gonna have a choice.
This has nothing to do with anything we're talking about, but LARPers made me think. This past week I was on Amazon Prime because I was at my folks and they weren't there, and I wanted to watch a movie and I found something that looked stupid, but I watched it and it was kind of awesome, and it was called Knights of Badassdom, all about
Yes.
LARPers.
Yes,
And,
that was
you know what
with
I'm talking about?
I watched that one day. That's with Tyrion or Lannister, the dwarf from Game of Thrones.
Crap, what's his name?
I can't remember.
I can't remember who. You know what we're talking about? The dwarf with the
Yeah.
amazing goatee. What's his name, guys? He played Tyrion Lannister or Lancaster or whatever.
I didn't watch.
Most of us all know who we were talking
I didn't
about.
watch. What's that show?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. I didn't watch it. Yeah. I missed the boat.
They screwed up the ending. You missed nothing.
Yeah, I missed the boat, and by the time I realized what it was already like a season and a half in, and I was like, I'm not gonna try and catch up.
And much like Lost, being
Peter Dinklage
in the series,
That's what I
you
was
missed
about to
nothing.
say.
There we go. Peter Dinklage.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's who was in the movie, and it was amazing.
VV coming with the real all the time.
Oh. I have all this. This makes me geeky enough. That's why I don't dress up.
Well, LARPing isn't geeky. LARPing is where you go from geek to full-blown nerd.
Yeah. I mean, it's even kind of past nerd. Like, nerds look at LARPers and kind of laugh at them.
I mean, at least they're out there in the world and being active.
So if you go to San Francisco, underneath the one of the bridges, I forget, they have like one of those what are those festivals called?
Renaissance
Fair. It's like an ongoing one. Like every weekend it's there, and like it was there for like I don't know if don't quote me. It might not be every weekend, but every time I went to the city, it was there, and it's underneath the bridge, and they're just down there, just like going through it, and I'm just like, dude, like really?
Yeah, they do it usually for like 8 weeks.
And it's like they're off to their own little side of the world, and it's like they're just everybody's just kind of passing them up.
Remo, have you never been to one of those?
I've like I said, I've seen them, but I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't.
All right, next time. I mean, I know we're in a pandemic. Gather up like 4 or 5 friends and just go. They have beer there, so
that's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard. So I heard they always have a bunch of like what are the mead and different things like that. You can get really, really drunk, but like
a lot of people do. And there's mud everywhere, so make sure that you're prepared
boots.
for that.
Wear boots.
All I know is you said San Francisco, so I'm picturing something else there.
It's along those lines, but you'll have the winces with the tight bustiers and stuff like that.
I was just going to throw out there, being that we're talking, hey, cosplayers, hey, that's okay. LARPers, hey, that's weird. What about those people going to fetish club parties? That's kind of cool.
Hey,
that's up the street.
Dressing up is dressing up.
We was just talking about the George Perez going to the Fetish Con, and we told George Perez.
Oh no, that's in California or in the Bay Area, I should say. The erotic exotic ball is almost like a rite of passage. Like everybody's gone at least once.
But I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just saying that.
No. I totally know
it's not a geek thing. There is a difference.
Yeah. But some of them are highly geeky.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I've seen people that I went to a bar one time and I was talking to this young lady and she was like, we should go over and play a couple video games. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. We're drinking. This girl whipped out a big ass fucking double-sided lightsaber and started playing the game, spinning it all over. I was just like, all right, I'll talk to you later. She was full on spinning it behind her back, killing like 50 people. I'm like, yeah, it's time to go.
That's a nerd.
It just shows she can cut loose and have fun.
Yeah, she totally took me by surprise because she didn't even look like it.
And if we're being fair, the crazy ones are usually the best ones in bed. I'm just going to leave that at that.
And as you could tell, that was why I was talking to her in the first place. You know, I was intrigued by the trench coat.
Oh, the trench coat.
And that was where she was hiding the sword.
Like a girl with boots and a long jacket.
Right. I was like, time to go.
So let's make sure we know what we're talking about here. The difference between the geek and the nerd. The geek is someone who will collect a lot of things, and they like they have a knowledge over a bunch of nerdy
random shit,
stuff, but they're not socially awkward, and they have a regular job and everything. The nerd is someone who goes one particular thing, like Star Trek, for example. They know that really, 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 really well. Yeah. They're socially awkward, and they don't really have the normal job. They probably have a very high-paying job that's super smart,
like the engineers and the
like an engineer,
and the industrial engineers that I work with.
The geek and the nerd.
Yeah.
It's like the geek can go up to a bar and have a smoking hot woman ask for directions, and they respond in English. The nerd will have trouble responding in anything other than Klingon.
Yeah. So it's like a engineer and an industrial engineer.
Yeah.
One is a lot more socially awkward than the other.
And one is a lot more specialized.
Yeah.
There's always subdivision categories in every field, but like how I once saw a judge do not much more than a week ago when somebody was trying to argue the difference between liability and at fault. They're the same thing. You just want to try and parse it by language.
Yeah.
A geek and a nerd, essentially, at the end of the day, are the same thing to somebody looking from the outside, not really caring the difference. Yeah. And they're going to go, the way that you explained it, they're just hearing wah, 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 wah.
In one ear, out the other.
Yeah.
So at least we want to try and represent ourselves a little bit better and not like the certain typical Rick and Morty fans that showed up to McDonald's and started jumping on the counter because of Szechuan sauce. That you don't want to think about nerds being that. A lot of people watch that and went, that's all of us. Like, no, I don't want to be thought that way.
The classic nerd is your Urkel looking guy that immediately says, well, that's really fatter than me.
Yeah.
Acne everywhere. It's like, well, in issue 47 of Darkhawk, this is what actually happened, and I think it'll be a great analogy to what we're going through here.
Yeah.
And comic book guy from Simpsons.
Oh, Lord. When I think of nerds, I think of Jefferson Darcy losing to the nerds in the first Revenge of the Nerds movie.
You're right. That was like an 80s nerd. I think they're a lot different now. Like,
hey, in the 80s, I knew my place. Watching Booger, I wanted to be Booger because I knew I was never going to be a not nerd.
Booger was awesome, man.
He was the guy that was like the most normal-ish of the nerds that was always getting drunk and smoking weed.
Yeah, I just thought he was creepy, so everybody didn't want to hang with him, so he didn't have no choice but to hang with the nerds.
Yeah, I mean, he was essentially being himself, and now he's just a normal dude.
Yeah.
Like
he would have got Me Too nowadays.
Like he was like a lazier, disgusting version of Belushi from Animal House, you know.
Exactly. How could he be a nerd?
Who was the guy he hung around with? What was the other guy? His buddy? Who ended up being his buddy? The guy who with the curly hair?
Are we talking about
the redheaded guy and he had the curly hair and it was like all over his head?
I can't help you with this. I have actually never seen Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh my god!
It's been a decade or so since I've seen it.
I forget his name, but he was like his he was his wingman.
Was that the young computer programmer, the Asian?
Yeah. No, not him. The other guy. Remember, he had like his hair was like. It was like curly. It was like a
yes, with the big glasses. The
yeah.
Can't remember his name.
I can't remember. He didn't talk much. He didn't talk.
No, he didn't.
If he talked at all.
And then my favorite of all of them, because he became a nerd in part 2, the guy that would smash beer cans on his head. He was a football player, but he was a total nerd.
He was a putz, man.
He talked in the third person. Can't remember his name for some reason.
On the guitar.
Booger Presley on the guitar.
Looking up the names. Org.
Isn't
his
that name given
What was
to
it?
his nose?
Org. No,
Yeah.
the one Rob was talking about is Org.
Oh yeah,
Booger, yeah.
Ogre. What's up, Sleepy?
Ogre sees nerds. You can tell I practiced that a lot back when I was a kid.
Ogre was like a combination of like a few guys I knew growing up.
He was a cartoon character, but very real from people we knew.
Yeah.
But then after he grew from a nerd, he went team up with Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport, man.
Yeah.
And his eye was still crooked.
It's still crooked. So Remo, what you bagging and boarding, man?
I just came from a shop and picking up some stuff from my pool list. A couple pre-orders. One second. And picking up my wife's books.
Oh, she got you pulling the books too?
Oh yeah,
I always like to hear that.
she's all in, man. I don't know if you guys follow her page, Cwtcc Comics. She posts a lot of stuff that she gets because she buys stuff more than I do.
I will be coming back to Instagram at the first of the year. Then I'll find out who everybody is and was doing over the last year.
Yeah, so
Have you been gone?
The entire year. I was hoping people would stop asking me to buy stuff. Hey, can I buy your comics? Hey, will you buy my shit? I'm like, just go away.
I know, right?
Got too much for me.
Yeah, what I did actually just maybe like 2 days ago, I just deleted maybe like 30 or 40 or so accounts. You know, if you go on there, they'll show you who you interact with and who you least interact with.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, or people you follow that don't follow you back, or vice versa. I just went down the line and was just like, you can do that on Twitter if your page is, if your profile is private. It'll let you go through and switch it to private right quick, and then go through and then edit your page, get rid of the people you don't want, and then
that'd be very helpful. Thank you.
I don't ever do that. I just let.
Yeah, I haven't been on Twitter
follow me.
in 5 years.
I've never been on Twitter.
Twitter's how I find out if a natural disaster happened and what normal people like you and me are posting. Holy shit, there was an earthquake here.
Right.
There's a fire. There's a flood. There's a hurricane. That's how I find out in real time what's going on.
I don't even have a Twitter, and I don't think I'm ever going to get one.
Really,
First of all,
Dusty?
I got a couple things I can show if you want to.
But before you saw him, we got to give a shout out to Dusty Owl. It was his birthday this past Thursday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Happy birthday, belated birthday.
He turns the big 5-0.
Sure as hell don't look it.
You know.
So, happy birthday,
Doesn't it
brother.
still feel like it's the 80s
Hey,
or
well,
the 90s?
Al, if you want, give me. Yeah, Al, if you want, give me your address, and I'll send you some dead flowers and black balloons and all that stuff.
Make him feel his age, huh?
Yeah. So go ahead, Remo, whatever you want to show, and then I'll go to
I
Rob.
kind of picked up a bunch of books too.
Good Lord, Rob.
So, I'll run through it real quick. I picked up Mother F Goose.
Oh, nice.
Oh, how was it?
I just got it right now. I think it's a one shot. So I grabbed this.
Magazine?
Scary. It'll be crazy, I'm sure.
Yeah, I like the cover, so I got this one, and
Is that a
then
magazine size?
yeah, it's it's pretty big compared to a regular comic.
So that's magazine size.
Yeah,
That's the only reason why I didn't pick it up.
How's the other cover? That's the regular cover behind it?
this is the big cover. This is the 1 in 10.
That
Ooh.
Pulp Fiction.
Ooh.
I would
I
have
like
picked
the
that
other
up,
one better myself.
size or not.
Yeah, so I grabbed that. And then, as you saw, my wife's been collecting this series, so I grabbed one. I'm gonna end up catching up on it. I think it's only like 5 or 6.
Keep them shits.
Exactly. And then I don't know, but I'm noticing. Damn it! I think I got something on it. But this Devil Rain, Scotty Young cover, the Electra. Grab that. King of Spies. I think this is the A cover. And then it's Venom number 2, the local comic book day cover. John Boy Myers. And then last weekend, I went with the wife to shop when we were passing through a small town. And actually, before I go there, yeah, that's fine. I got Trial or Astonishing Ant-Man number 12.
You too.
First appearance of Darren Cross. And, I grabbed this one because I just thought the cover was sick and it'll probably have some significance at a later date. But this Legends Black Panther number 1.
I've never seen
That
that.
foil?
No, it's not foil, but I'm gonna assume that's T'Challa's son on the cover. I don't know if it's the alternate universe son or if it's the one he has with him and Storm, but
That back issue, or is that new?
this is old because it was in their back issues, and I haven't seen it advertised, so I'm assuming this is pretty old. But I've never seen it before, so.
BB saying, did the Stray Dog comic come to life?
And then
Well, the new series hasn't started yet.
Not yet.
my wife knows I collect the Echo books, so she got me Echo's Origin 55. And then while we were at the same shop in the back, and this was probably a couple days after it came out, they had the Animal Castle. Grabbed a couple of those, the A cover. And then when I was at when I was picking up my books today, on the wall he had the Virgin Variant, the 1 in 10, I'm gonna assume, or maybe whatever the lowest ratio was. I grabbed that one. And then Sean, my stealth buy of the week was Marvel Team Up number 65.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
Captain Britain first.
I'll say it's probably like I don't know. It's pretty high grade.
I think
I
your
got
Yeah,
dog,
it is.
your
Got
dog
it for
barks
almost
when
nothing.
your dog barks when you show a hot book or something like that.
Yeah, I know, right?
High grade
Yeah.
when the dog eats it.
I grabbed that one. Yeah, I got to keep them away. Some of the books I don't care about, I noticed that one of the boxes, my dog peed on it. So that tells you what he thought of it. I was like, you little motherfucker. Like, why does he keep going over there? And I'm going, look, and I'm like, this motherfucker pissed on my box.
You better
Oh,
put
and
your
then I
box
got
up
this
high
too today.
areas, man.
This is
What?
probably has
No.
I grabbed this one. This is the New Avengers Annual number 1. But I grabbed it because it has
Baby.
Yelena Belova as the character she was in Hawkeye with the
goggles.
she looks
Yeah.
like the Spider-Man stealth suit with she had the green little night vision goggles on. I forget what her name is. She changed into that character though.
Yes, she appears that way in the new Thunderbolts series.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's right. You just reminded me.
Read comics excite us like this.
Come on.
Gotta get it before the dog came on it.
I got these yesterday in the mail. This is Thunderbolts 128.
Oh, here you go.
First and second print.
Is the black and white first or the color?
This is the second print.
Okay.
Yeah. So grab those. So yeah, that's what I got this week.
Cool.
Nice.
And I got a whole other box of stuff that they supposedly had sent me months ago, and I just got it, including the only two I really cared about in the whole order.
Nice. Love
These.
that. Love
Been
that.
waiting
cover.
for these to come, and I didn't think I was gonna get them because I ordered them before for FOC, but then all of the Diamond had all those issues, and they were holding up shipping stuff, so I hadn't got them, and then they finally just shipped them out of nowhere. And I got those, and then I got those Spider-Man, Batman books. I want to kind of start reading those.
Nice, man. Great haul.
But yeah, that's it, man. Thank you.
You ready, Rob?
Sure. All you have to do is just tell me which stack am I pulling, because all of this came in last Friday. I only got them all bag boarded in Mylard. 3 a.m. on Friday morning.
How old are these books?
These are from 60s, 70s, a few of them from the 80s.
Most of them. Let's just start with the 60s then.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Rob been doing some work.
We'll start with Thor.
Awesome.
Yeah, Animal Castle's like that. Vivi, you're right. Some of the panels are squished down. Yeah.
I'll make sure that table's all right. Good. Most of these are all filler issues, not many first appearances, and if there are, it's very minor. These were ones people
covers
passed
are
over.
always good.
Yeah.
So I went to this lady's house because on Friday nights, I like to take a look on OfferUp, see if there's going to be anything that people are lapsed collectors, because you go to a comic shop and pay way too much money. So a collector wound up hitting this place 7 months before I did, got the keys, and I'm like, it's okay, I got most of the keys. She's like, okay. So I wound up cleaning her out of most of the other good stuff that was the filler issues, because why not?
Yeah, fill it up.
Well, I mean, nowadays, covers like that are really good, that's still a $10 to $20 book being filled.
Yeah, easy.
I only had one Journey into the Mystery up until now, and that was the 124. But hey, I have this one now.
Not to mention, most of them are antiques now. They're like, it's not like you can just find them anywhere.
The only way you're going to get these is eBay.
Yeah.
And you're overpaying at that point.
Yeah.
I got a
wake-up
comic
shop
call with
that's a great one right there.
I like that cover.
I got a wake-up call with Who Dat's auction the other night about how some of these X-Men books from the Silver Age that used to be throwaway books, like the ones that are focused on characters, now they're like $40 a piece.
Easily.
Yeah, you saw that?
It shocked me, man.
Yeah, when he was selling that, what was it, X-Men, like 15 or 25 or something like that, $45.
Well, no, they were higher number than that, but yeah, it was the power.
But it was an insignificant issue. It was like it was.
But I mean, I'm like, wow,
Hercules.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with those Silver Age Thor books.
No, I mean, look at that. That is not a key. I never even seen that before, but that is an amazing cover.
Yeah.
Great cover.
Oh, and here was something that was a find. There's no major first appearances in these, but what it is when you're seeing this, that is a Whitman variant. So whenever you see these blank boxes from the late 70s, early 80s, that's going to be a Whitman variant. Just pull them.
But that is a key.
Were the first direct variant.
Yeah. That's the two the crows or whatever.
That one's in the
Odin's. Yeah.
There is a first in this. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head though.
Yeah, there is a first.
I just bagged it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whitman variants are the first direct edition books. Because it used to be if it had a barcode, that was just how it came.
Mm-hmm.
But then it got to the newsstand versus direct.
Nice.
But before that, it was newsstand or Whitman. Then in
Mhm.
'79, you got the direct.
The old directs would have like a strike through where I remember,
Uh-huh.
in fact, that first black cat up there I was given because the girl said, "Thanks for helping me with the show today. Here's this." And I go, "Oh my God, thank you." It's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry somebody wrote on it." Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, somebody took a pen and just struck right through that box there. And I go, "Yeah, somebody wrote on it. I'll take it. Thank you." It's like, that is early direct.
Yep.
And then she had a whole bunch of these from the Walt Simonson era. So I had a bunch I was missing from Simonson. So
Yes, Sleepy Reader, some of them were, but they're also considered the first direct.
Which is crazy when you consider that they strike through it and that's considered as whatever when you can still read the code. Not like they scratched it all out. They just struck through it. Like you can still scan it.
They did such a piss poor job back in the day of trying to differentiate between the person at the newsstand that could refund all this stuff and get some of their money back because they had so much crap out there, and the direct market where, sorry, you're stuck with this crap. And they were bringing these things to the newsstand and going, "Hey, can you get me a little bit of extra money? I'll even give you a kickback." And Marvel and DC caught wind and went, "Yeah, we're going to stop that shit. We want that money. It's not like we're paying our creators."
You can definitely tell these are the later Thors.
Yeah.
Still great.
And later tonight, if I go live with Lady Fantastic, I'll show all this stuff. I don't want to take up all the time here.
Hey, man.
I don't think we care, but okay.
Yeah.
This one I actually got in the mail, but I just stuck it in there.
Yeah, still good.
Oh.
Looks like it has some water damage on it, or is that just me?
Not water damage, but it is a little bit wavy at the top.
Yeah. So here's my question. You got silver and bronze and all that in it. Do you have any Aquaman? I've been looking at the Silver Age Aquaman. You talking great covers?
Mm-hmm.
She has some Aquaman.
I got my eye on one that I just haven't pulled the trigger and finding the right grade that I want.
I still want a first Black Manta.
I want the second.
Ooh.
Where he's holding Aquaman over his head.
The second Black Manta has the better cover.
Rod?
Yeah.
Great to see you in the chat, Rod.
Hey, Rod. I'll speed it up here.
Oh, you got two on them.
Yeah.
No, we got
Direct
four.
and newsstand.
Oh, sweet.
I didn't realize I grabbed two of them.
What other titles did you get? So far, it's all Thor related.
Oh, I got so many titles. I wound up getting, this is the random box that has Wonder Woman, Tomb of Dracula.
Oh, hey, that's good.
Eternals, Warlord, the Quasar,
there.
Nice.
Submariner,
Cool.
Superman, Neil Adams.
Oh, so that again?
Punisher 2 through 6. And then the Power Pack high grade with Sabretooth.
Ain't nobody
I
care
had a
about something.
ton of those power packs in my dollar bins over here. No number one or anything, though.
This one is detached cover, which was a shame because when I went to open it up, the whole middle just fell right out.
Oh.
So there's that. I had a nice little stack of West Coast Avengers here.
Any of the special ones like White Vision or Scarlet Witch Evil?
I had that. So she didn't have that, but I have 2 through 20, no 21. It stopped at 20. Now I need 21 through like 42 or 43, and then I have most of the rest of the series. And we have a bunch of old Incredible Hulk
Oh yeah.
Yes, there we go.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Marvel frame books.
I got that one.
Oh, this one's a good one.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Rhino and Abomination going at him at once.
You got the one where he teamed up with Juggernaut on the cover.
I don't think so.
No.
That's another good one.
All right, those are Hulk ones, and I have all these Marvel team ups in the back here.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
That X-Men one is great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it, man. I have a giveaway video on my channel for those who's watching.
First, John Byrne working on the X-Men.
That's cool.
Nice.
Fantastic Fours, just the very top. 93, no 94.
Oh well.
115,
The FF books are getting to where they're like $10 a pop now
at least.
or more. I love those Marvel frame books in the 1971, the 20-cent era.
Yeah, those are hard to find in decent condition that aren't all banged up.
Yeah.
Some of those early Bronze Age still had great covers.
Yeah, that's nice. I like the fonts, like the trade dress font.
And Fantastic Four went through like what 2 or 3 logo changes in the 70s.
At least.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Even now, sometimes they revert back to the old one. And
Yeah, those definitely some nice books, man.
Yeah, I prefer the original FF logo myself.
Yeah, it's classic. Nice, I have that one.
Oh, those are all annuals. Okay. Now, that book is a special book. It came out in 71, the same with all the other 20 cents. It is considered a Marvel frame, but Romita did not do it the way the other frames were. He had to ask permission to deviate on that one.
So wait, they wanted him to make that cover like everything else in terms of the frames?
Yeah, like all the other frames, but he wanted to deviate. So it's kind of framed, but it's not.
Man, that storyline is so good, man, with that tarantula there. Man, that storyline is so good.
This is just the top of the Iron Man that I got.
oh, nice.
That's a great cover. I
And
have a
this
feeling those are going to
started-
be expensive soon.
Oh, well, this one's already an expensive book. This one's like $75 online. It's
I
the
just mean
beginning.
great Iron Man, Submariner.
Also, it's the beginning of the storyline of Demon in a Bottle. I've always wanted that storyline, and this is one of the few that I was missing. Jump up to 168. I have a lot of the others. First appearance of Scourge. That could be used in. That could definitely be used in current Marvel.
Nice. That's the
That's
James
a
Rhodes.
pre-rivet Iron Man
Yeah.
title, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Hawkeye's wife is going to wind up, or not Hawkeye. Dufresne, the swordsman on the Hawkeye show, that his wife, soon-to-be wife, is going to be Madame Mask, or Kate's mother.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe.
Think so?
It'd be a great twist.
I'm hoping that Clint's wife is Mockingbird. The heat. He brings out the heat. It's crazy how that whole run has like dope covers, and the first issue is the only one that everybody's making a fuss over.
Yeah, I needed to get the entire series because it's Warren Ellis, and I know he's a problematic writer, but
Yeah.
he was always a solid writer. And dude, I never realized that this was the first time that she winds up having the red hair on the book.
There's a director's cut too of the first one.
Now I got to find that too.
It's red. It's like an orangish red color.
I have the whole series of this except for 4. 4 should be coming in the mail in the next couple
Yeah.
days.
Now, here's the question, though. Do you have the first appearance of her dad?
I do.
Sort of. Oh,
The
that's
Bloodstone.
hard to get. Marvel Presents #1, where for at least in Marvel, that in Marvel continuity, that's where they first bring him in. But he existed back in the Atlas days, and I can't remember the issue or what they
So now,
called him back then.
now you also know that those are two different Elsa Bloodstones, though, right?
Yeah, sort of. I mean,
The
they
one, the one with the blonde, she's like a British speaking or sounding.
they both are. The thing is, when they first started the series, she's blonde hair. It was Dan Abnett creating it, but actually, the person who could explain this best is Robert from Comics Explained. He did a whole video on this, where it starts out being this character that's blonde hair, is a supernatural fighter.
Yeah.
Then they bring in Next Wave. Next Wave was an alternative universe, but they wound up liking that version of the character so much they even brought her in for Legion of Monsters, which was part of the Marvel Universe. At that point, hey, now she has red hair, she's British, it's a little bit closer. They wound up bringing her into Mighty Avengers, New Avengers at different point, and now she's the character we know. It's just
Marvel
amalgamated
Zombies.
versions.
She's Deadpool's woman.
Mhm.
I remember that.
He likes them redheads. I can see why.
Yeah, I remember that story. That's a
Deadpool
great
always
arc.
likes the women that want to kill him. Me
Yeah.
too.
Kind of works out that way, right? Or you get with them and then they end up wanting to kill you.
I had a woman once give me bleach.
Yeah, right. Ooh, shit.
Yeah, that happened.
Goddamn, Rob.
That's why I said earlier, if you wind up finding the women that are a little crazy, they're going to be better in bed, but they might kill you. Rule 1, don't die.
That's it.
But
You
that
gotta
was
have the right
supposed to
amount
man.
of toxicity, right? Just the right amount of toxicity. Just the
As
right.
long as they're not homicidal, you're in the clear.
That's it.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna jump off. I gotta go and cook some hamburgers.
Nice.
Enjoy some hamburgers.
Yeah. All right, you guys. It was good. Thanks for having me on, Sean.
No
Will,
problem, man.
Rob, it was good seeing you guys, man. Take it easy.
Remo, be safe, and if I don't see you in the meantime, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Same. All right, you guys.
Later.
I'm just going to finish out the Thor and then somebody else, anybody else. As Lady Fantastic would say, and by the way, Lady Fantastic, I didn't speak, but I wrote with her this morning. She is safe. She's in Tennessee. There's a lot of damage out there.
Oh yeah, tornado. I forgot we had those.
I survived one once when I was a kid, and whenever I hear that that part of the country is getting it, anybody that I know this part of the comic community, I want to make sure that they're safe.
Well,
So they-
I'm lucky that where we live in the Tennessee Valley is it almost always goes around us or below us.
So the two big tornadoes in my life, and okay, those are all the Thor books, but the two big tornadoes in my life was 1987 when I lived in North Lauderdale in South Florida. And we're just told, oh my God, we have to get out of here. I'm like, why? Yeah, so shit's now flying around me. 7 years old, and we're running out the door. We're running about maybe 5 or 6 doors down to our neighbor's house. Our house is getting torn apart. The tornado's not that far away, but we're just told there's a wine cellar. We're going to hide there. We came back out. Our whole house was destroyed. I was hit in the head several times by roof shingles. It probably explains my wild personality. So yeah, whenever you're in a tornado, try and make sure you have a pillow nearby so you can cover your head. So much like in an earthquake, the things that you're not going to think about is falling debris. So yeah, that happened. The second one was back when I was in college, and I'm looking out the window and I'm going, hey, is that a tornado going through Biscayne Bay? And in Miami, where you're seeing a bunch of 10, 20-story buildings, a tornado is not normal to see there. So I'm a little sketchy on tornadoes.
It's a tornado for you, man.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought about it, so I just think I'll pull that out. Ghost Rider.
I think I just got the first appearance of the Texas Twister, and I forgot what issue he was in.
Sleepy Reader, Sex Advice Saturday.
It's like I don't mean to. It just sort of comes out that way.
So damn,
Maybe that's what
so
you said.
so you'll be on. You said you're going to be on live with Lady Fantastic tonight, possibly.
Supposedly, we're supposed to go live. We were going to go live last night, so we'll hope.
Because I know tonight I'll probably be on Geek Aficionados 500 sub live stream. You know, he's been putting out invites.
Man, I would have
Well,
thought that he was like well over 1,000 by now.
Yeah. Well, Rob, are you going to the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo?
I haven't left Florida in a couple years, and that's probably not going to happen anytime soon.
Hey,
And I just got all these books here, so I need to start recouping.
I'll just ask because Lady Fantastic's coming down, and I'm giving her a ticket.
Oh,
nice.
Well, I got a free one, so I'll give her one.
she's going to love it. Just give her the advice, don't blow all your wad in the first 10 minutes walking through the door. Look around first.
That's always
You never know what you're going to
top
find.
tier advice. What's up, C. Woodard? Great to see you today.
Like, as much as you might want that Hulk 181, you might wind up finding a booth that has everything that you've been looking for, and you can always get that 181 later.
You're speaking to the choir, my friend. I have been looking for 181.
Me
I'm
too.
gonna have to get it later.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just happy with my facsimile.
I
I'm
need a
not.
facsimile. I don't have a facsimile.
You don't have that?
I don't even have that.
I'm not anymore. I need to get me a facsimile. I want to get a facsimile graded in a 9.8, and that'll be my display piece. And then if I can ever get an actual 181, it'll stay nice and dark and safe.
Keep those red, hyper red.
Yeah.
Not pink from sunshine.
Hey, Rob, man. There's still a couple of Floridians I ain't met, and you're one of them, man. I meet
It'll
you
happen.
YouTube, but next year, man, we definitely gonna plan to meet.
Oh, absolutely. Now that the pandemic is kind of, sort of, maybe possibly over, we'll see. Absolutely.
I want to come down there for SuperCon weekend because fucking DMC always at SuperCon, so I want to finally meet him, and I'm jealous of Cookie for meeting him. So,
and I got to show you the good shops down here.
Yeah.
Most people, they go to Tate's. Tate's is like Walmart. There's nothing wrong with Tate's. Everything's FMV, if not a little bit more. Usually a little bit more. I'm sure that you've already been to Phil's Comics because they know who you are. Brian, guy with long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian.
I ain't been there, but I know Brian.
He knows who you are.
Yeah.
And CJ's, that's also in Broward. That one's a great shop. And the shop that I go to, Frank's, also known as Max Comics. He's Miami Fresh Comics on Instagram. His store is like highly disorganized. He's working on it, but he has a ton of stuff that you could go and root through.
Nice, man. I you know, the last few weeks I've been doing these videos, all the meetups we do and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to meeting you. Metal Rock, who's in North Florida. Like, he got to meet Hyde, and I was jealous of that. But next year, definitely going to meet up with the Florida crew, the rest of the people. And, of course, Big Will's been begging for us to come out of Florida. So I definitely want to go outside of Florida and go to Alabama and hang out with Big Will and go to that shop that's only open on Saturdays. That's like the one shop that we want to hit up.
Must be making some good money to only be open Saturday. I'd say close shop and run out of your home.
It's not for profit. That's where he houses his collection and he sells occasionally. So he only opens it on Saturday, and it's only vintage comics. So silver and bronze is pretty much all that's in there, with a speckling of other stuff.
So you're saying save your money and travel up to meet you?
Yes, that's what he's saying. Can't just run there with little money. You got to go there with the big bucks.
You think I ran with little money to get all this on last Friday? I'd have to save up a lot more and bring a truck.
Yeah, Let's see. It's been a while. I'll go ahead and show the I'll show the pictures of the shop again, Puff. There's I got 10 pictures. There's picture 1.
Oh lordy. I need the X-Men. I need the Iron Man. I need the Daredevils. I have those. Oh, top shelf. Got those. Ooh, got those. Ooh, need top shelf. Need that issue 2 of Ms. Marvel. Well, it's getting so bad when you're like, got it. Oh, one thing I need. What happens when it's like, oh no, I have everything that I want? What happens then? You go to pre-code horror where you really can't afford anything?
Well, no. First you go to Marvel Frames, get all the frames. Then you go to the go-go checks for DC. You get all the go-go checks. Then you can go to the other stuff.
Yeah, that's the store that we all gotta visit one day, man. Open only on the Sabbath.
I still have to finish the rest of that video that Key Collector dropped last night on the Edgar Church collection. I watched the first 5 minutes of it and then got so pissed off watching it. Like, I'll watch the rest of this later.
Why did you get so mad? I don't know what the video is.
All right, so Edgar Church is considered the greatest comic book collector of all time.
I know what the Edgar Church collection is. It's also the Mile High Comics collection.
Yeah, the very beginning of the video is this guy gets a phone call. Hey, there's this house full of comic books, and it's all Golden Age stuff. It's like, we just can't wait to get rid of it. And he doesn't even pay for it. It's just, come take this shit away. It's like my greatest fear, aside from, drowning or dying. Period. My comic collection, come pick this shit up. That's basically what happened. And I got so angry listening to that going, oh my God, somebody collected all of that or kept it pristine. And then they're forgotten, but Edgar Church is remembered. Fuck you. The guy that came before Edgar Church is the one that's completely forgotten.
Yeah.
That's why I was so upset. I mean, yeah, it's great that happened, but it reminds us that we're never going to be the final owners of these books, that it's going to be passed on to someone else, keep them in as great a condition as you can, and hopefully they exist for another 100, 200, 500,000 years. But we're not going to be remembered for that shit. It's the Will Pedigree. It's the Sean Pedigree. It's the worst collection. No one's going to remember our shit.
Well, we also can't do it because all the pedigrees, you have to be original owner.
Mm-hmm.
Almost none of us are original. Almost none of the books you have behind you, you're original owner.
Not a one. Except for anything from about 1992 forward.
Yeah. Nothing of mine is original.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, stuff I bought, in the last few months, obviously, off the rack. That's original owner, but that won't be safe.
I mean, I can show you my original ASM 361 that it's like a 5.0 where I tried restoring it because at 12 years old, I thought that was a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, it would be like this. You spend all your money, all your time. You don't take vacations. You really don't have much of a life. You die, and then someone else goes, hey, look what I inherited. I'm going on vacation.
Oh, even the shops be getting books, buying collections and stuff to resell them.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't originally own them.
Yeah.
Outside the new books.
Plus, the way my thinking is even if I amass a great collection, it's going to be for the purpose of selling it off. Unless I have kids and they really are into comics, my purpose of any collection I have will be to sell it off when I'm really old and just enjoy life.
My shop
does income.
My shop just got a small collection in, and I saw the boxes at the shop, but they got a big ass sign that said, "Do not go through these boxes because we got to go through them first. Reprice them and all that stuff." So, like that's how it's supposed to be. Get a collection, go through them, price the books according to what they are, and then put them on sale. And I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna put in their story like, "Hey guys, we just went through this collection. We priced all the books." They're gonna show the minor keys and the keys, and they're gonna try and get people to come and buy them. And that works all the time.
Yeah. I'm hoping to be the guy that gets the collection and prices and sell them. That's what I try to do.
Yeah.
As long as you give me a bit of a discount for buying in bulk, because I do buy in bulk, I will be there. Hey, I have a portal gun. I'm here. How the hell did you get here so fast? You said comics at a discount.
Like I said, man, unlike a lot of the guys online now, I'm one of them that never left the hobby.
Same.
So for me, the X-Men 42 or 43, that Power of Magneto cover, where to me that book it's a great Silver Age book, but it shocked me. It honestly shocked me when I heard Whodad say he'll sell it and the price was $45. Because to me, it's like a $20 book because no one ever liked them before.
Yeah.
But now, it's $45. So I have it. I have one. It's priced at $35 because I think that's fair. I know what I have in it, and that still gets me a profit. And it's waiting for when I go to the convention and set up the booth. That's what I'll sell it for.
I can't watch the Ninth Gate.
Wow.
That would kill me. I would blink in SOS, and if that doesn't work, I'll blink kill me now.
So what's the Ninth Gate? Never saw it.
And it's okay, and you never will now. You're going to forget this conversation ever happened because if you watch that movie, you will die immediately.
Okay.
You'll have a heart attack. Edith, I'm coming home.
It irritates me when we watch some of these movies and see how a guy treat a comic book. I'm like, that burns a hole in my heart, man.
It's like watching Elvira, Mistress of the Dark,
Yep,
and they're in the diner, and they grab the first appearance of Venom and tear it up.
Yep. Me and VV talked about that movie. Like, yeah, that's the worst thing they did in the movie.
Well, I don't know if you caught it, but I and Southern Comic Geek are going to set up a booth at the Huntsville convention. I've never done a booth at a convention before. So hopefully it goes well, and hopefully I got everything priced reasonable. I think I do. But yeah, you guys should come to the convention just for that. We have
prepared. Be prepared for the annoying people going, this says $35. Because I bought two other things, can I get this for $1? No. You're going to have a lot of that, more than you ever thought.
Oh, I'm prepared. I worked in customer service. I'm prepared.
Better customers. Big Will is better customer service than CBCS, man.
If they just had it in English, that would be great.
That's what hurt their customer service. It wasn't in English.
It's like, yeah, thank you. What can I help you with?
Oh, good Lord. I'm dumb enough earlier today when I had to go get a Cuban coffee that when the lady I realized didn't speak any English whatsoever, and that's when I go, lo siento, not realizing, even if she gave me a number, I'm not going to understand what the hell she just said. Like, you just take several dollars, give me the change. Just smile and nod your head politely.
Yeah.
Man, I just want to plug, not only I'm going to be on tonight with Geek, but next Friday, me and VV, we're going to end the year off on our movie talk. We're talking Christmas movies that are not technically Christmas movies, and we're going to talk probably the most debatable one. And
Die Hard.
Yes. We're talking
Die Hard's not debatable. It is, in fact, a Christmas movie.
Man, people still debate it.
Christmas is part of the plot.
People still debate it. That's why no matter what, it's always going to be something that people debate, no matter what.
Yeah, I know, but people are stupid to debate that one. It's literally part of the plot. It has to be Christmas.
It's an action movie that has Christmas in it. And
that's like Home Alone going, it's a bunch of people going on vacation and it just happens to be Christmas.
Lethal Weapon has Christmas in it, but it's not really a Christmas movie when compared to Die Hard.
No movie is a Christmas movie by that definition. To me, what makes a Christmas movie is if Christmas is integral to the plot. It doesn't matter what kind of movie it is, but if you have to have it be Christmas, if it can also be Halloween, well, then there you go.
Okay, Lethal Weapon. I'm seeing C. Woodard and Varangian talk about that. Okay, that one is a little bit more iffy. Little lady walking on her balcony, falls off, crashes into a car. That could happen on the 4th of July, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Gary usually put the end to the Christmas video playing in the house.
Yeah, I don't know about Lethal Weapon being a Christmas movie. Die Hard, definitely.
But they're both action movies first. But Die Hard got more of the Christmas.
Well, so's Home Alone. It's an action movie first.
Home Alone's not an action movie. It's a kid just being annoying and disrupting burglaries.
Well,
hey,
Blood like kids.
That's an action movie.
Hey,
if you don't like kids, Home Alone is a horror movie.
Let's be honest, man. Anybody with a mindset to fall for those traps, man, they killing that kid, man. that's just the truth. If they get what they want, the kid was been dealt with, and that's how it is. If you're talking about the burglary,
yeah, I'm one of those weird types.
Wait a minute. Varangian, Invasion USA is a true Christmas movie. Is that Chuck Norris movie?
We talked that 2 weeks ago. Chuck Norris does his Christmas shopping, taking out the bad guys in the mall full of Christmas trees and holiday gifts.
Yeah, why not?
Oh man, I gotta watch that again. I don't even remember.
Richard Lynch
hates Christmas being a part of it.
Richard Lynch hates Christmas so bad that he went with a bazooka and blew up all the homes that had Christmas lights on it.
Ho ho ho.
Well, if Christmas is integral to the plot, then yes, that is a Christmas movie.
If you want to make a movie and make a little bit more, make it revolve around a holiday of some sort, because people will go see it just because of the holiday theme.
Black Christmas.
Are we talking about the one that was involved with the Israelis that were kidnapped during the 72 Olympics? Or are we talking about the horror movie, not exactly horror, but the one that happened at the Super Bowl? I'm thinking Black Sunday. My bad.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the kid that cuts up his mom and eats her.
Oh, that's hot.
Here I am talking about taking out a kid in Home Alone.
And as Rob is removed from the stream.
This is a lot like how my show is. We just talk about one thing, it goes off the rail.
Something funny about that movie is my buddy, we were going to see one of two movies. One was one that I wanted to see, which was a comedy, and the other option was Black Christmas. He actually doesn't care which one, but he knows that I've never been allowed, at this point in my life, I had never been allowed to see an R-rated horror movie, or really an R-rated movie at all. This was way back in that day. And so he goes with Black Christmas. I've never really seen a horror movie before. I mean, obviously, original Frankenstein, Bela Lugosi, that stuff, yeah, but that's not the same.
But not modern horror with gore.
But anyway, so we saw it. We come back to his house. It's late at night. We go in the garage, which has no light on. And he goes in first, and unbeknownst to me, he goes in right at the door and squats down, couldn't get the word out, waiting on me. So I walk in, and as soon as I walk in and there's no light or anything, he jumps out, and I jump about 4 feet in the air, and I peed a little, and he noticed and has never let me forget it almost 20 years later. But anyway, the movie didn't scare me, but the fact that he had a good jump scare, after the movie, and it was at dark at night. It is a culmination, and it's funny now that we look on it. But anyway, yeah, that was my first experience of a horror movie.
I tend to like the movies with evil Santas, like Silent Night, Deadly Night, or even the one with Bill Goldberg.
Santa's Sleigh.
Santa's Sleigh.
Yeah, I haven't
It's
seen
so
that. I want
ridiculous,
to
but
see that because it's Goldberg.
it's so crazy, man.
Yeah, but hey, I'll tell you one that's great. That you will think it's a horror movie, but if you pay attention, especially to who is in it, it's not a horror movie. It's a black comedy, and that's Krampus.
I still need to see that.
I watched Krampus and it was enjoyable. I enjoyed a lot of it. I know VV don't like it because he no Krampus movie is great to him.
Last House on the Left was a great movie. I can't exactly say great, but it's effective.
What's up, Byron? Go easy on Shazam.
Yeah, I liked Shazam. I think that Black Adam's going to be a mess, but that's because I can never remember any movie that Rock has ever been in. I know that he is in the movie. I know that it is a movie. I can't tell you much more than that.
And The Rock's been in a whole lot of movies.
But every movie he's in involves a jungle.
Yeah.
Too much of them.
All you need to know for Krampus, Rob, is this guy's in it.
Oh, yeah, the guy from True Blood, the cop. I want to see it.
Also, Anchorman.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need to watch Krampus. They try and be a horror movie, but it's a black comedy.
That's like Dr. Giggles in the 90s.
Dr. Giggle was fun, man.
I love Dr. Giggles. I mean, really, they used him in that movie because, well, he was the bad guy in Darkman, and, well, he was effective in that.
Yeah.
It was because of Sam Raimi. Then they made the same thing. Well, they used the character from Law and Order as the bad guy in Dr. Giggles, and it was more funny.
Yeah, it was like there's horror movies that are more funny than horror.
Oh, dude.
My first horror movie was Goldberg, Jeff Goldberg. Am I saying it right? The Fly.
Oh man, that's a classic.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to see that. It was my aunt that took me. My parents went, yeah, I remember the movie The Fly from the 1950s. Help me, help me. Imagine a 7-year-old kid watching this movie as this guy's face is dripping off.
Yeah. Hey guys, you want to see something truly horrific? I just popped on Instagram and saw this. It said it doesn't matter that it's Nerdy Girl. That's not the issue. It's what she's holding.
Oh, Nerdy Girl always has the best stuff.
Classic. I love that movie.
Elf.
No, it's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh.
It's a graded VHS.
Oh my God, seriously?
Man, we talked about that months ago.
Graded VHS from VHS DNA, apparently.
Oh man.
Graded VHS.
Was that the son from the movie?
Oh, I'm gonna have to
a picture with.
I'm gonna have to send this to Matt because we talked about this months ago when CGC got the deal to do video
y'all
game.
Talked about it on the video game. You're like, what's next? VHS?
Yeah.
Apparently so, and it's stupid to me.
Oh my!
Besides, I don't know how many people still have their unopened VHS. Most people,
I've never seen an unopened VHS, and
I
follow a lot of VHS.
I opened it to watch the VHS.
Like anything else, it needs to become worthless before somebody goes, "Hey, I want to buy that back again." And not only do I want to buy it back, I want it in really good condition. Comics, fucking Pokemon cards, anything you can. VHS now. Why the hell not? Hey, we didn't think that Pogs would be anything, and now kids are paying a little more for Pogs.
You mean to tell me Pogs are back?
They never left.
Yeah, they did. They
did,
may not have
but
left
companies
manufacture, but they left consciously.
You had really bad marketing people that still throughout the 90s and early 2000s think that there was still some kind of market for Pogs that never really went away. And now people are paying a little bit more money for stupid Pogs that we never cared about to begin with.
Dude, I remember Pogs. All it is piece of circular cardboard with a picture on it.
It was a
And then you
milk
have like a
carton.
silver dollar
round
size metal
shit.
thing, and it's Pogs. Why would someone care about Pogs? Please
Clearly
don't
not
tell
me.
me kids are buying Pogs again. Don't tell me they're getting them graded.
Oh Lord.
Oh, everything's getting graded. If you're going to be fucking grading a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation,
Instead of
yes, you're
watching
going to
it,
grade
man.
everything.
Oh.
Hey, they'll be grading vinyl soon, man. Good Lord.
Well, there you go, Puff. You can get with the roundtable guys. You actually have evidence now. They are literally already grading VHS, and you think Pogs are next.
I can't
And
believe
graded
this shit.
things just take up more space. I
Yeah.
want everything graded. Then you want a house of plastic. That shit costs. If your house breaks out into a fire, you are definitely dead. I mean, I'm definitely dead here.
I need to share that post in the group chat, man. We got to talk about that next week, man.
Look, this has had some sort of value for 30-something years or even longer. Okay? It has an actual rarity to it. It also has something other than a picture on it as well. So I can understand a comic book, but a VHS, a Pog? You kidding me?
Well, Beta will be the newsstand of VHS grade.
Yeah, Betamax. Yeah.
Hey, I'm still expecting people that bought all those old DVDs because, the digital copies, it'll last forever. No, that shit degrades over time. And after a while, you're not going to play it on any computer, no matter how powerful.
Yeah. No.
People are going to buy them.
They'll start with DVDs, but Laserdisc. That'll be the thing. Laserdisc.
That's already a thing. And I remember back in the early 2000s that I wound up having a copy of Battle Angel Alita. And this was before the new live action movie, and it was considered an out of print DVD. One day I'm on eBay looking for Swamp Thing, the entire series, and I run across that, holy shit, someone's selling this thing for like $200. I bought mine for $20. Why? Oh, out of print. And that's when it hit me. Shit, one day everything's going to be worth something because it'll be 20 years later and someone can't get it.
Yeah, it's like those people who still had unopened, wrapped in plastic copies of Super Mario Brothers. Like,
Yeah.
how you never played that shit, man? How you have an unboxed?
Here's the funny thing. I was watching Reserved Investments on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have a decent channel. Anyway, he made note of the fact that they have now, WADA has released a population. They have released their census. There's like 80 or 90 something graded copies of the Mario thing, and there's I think 10 in a 9.8. So they are not as rare as they were once thought. I imagine the price is going to tank.
Once people realize that there's more out there than existed, that's when a price craters. It's just like when you have a warehouse discovery of, hey, we found like 3,000 copies of uncirculated Hulk 181s. You would wind up seeing the price come down a bit. But ultimately, it's going to be how much demand is there for it.
Right. But it's like you got to be careful with New Mutants 98, Spawn 9. Because there's a lot of things like Gary did a video. He bought like 300 copies of Spawn 9 because they had that find where like a dealer or somebody still had their box. But again, to show these kind of books, you can have a market can exist for these. I don't see a market for the VHS or Pogs or anything like that. But these are rare enough, old enough, and have enough value and have enough significance that you can build a market around it, and there's been one for the past 40, 50 years.
And plus, if you wind up having a scene right out of this new Marvel comic, The Dark Ages, where EMP hits the world, now all of a sudden you can't use anything digital. Well, you can't read digital anymore, but you can definitely read your comics.
Yep. But yeah, that's crazy, man. It's going to be a interesting conversation revisiting that video where we talked about VHS grading and now it actually happened.
It was a matter of time.
It was a matter of time. And in the classic movie, you get graded too. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. So wait. Here's the thing though. VHS goes back to like the 50s. That's how long VHS has been around.
Mm-hmm.
And then it leveled off in like the mid first decade of the 2000s. So does that mean an unopened 55 VHS of a movie that no one liked is going to be worth more than a 2000 Godzilla or something? Or wait, no one
It'll
liked that. Or the
probably equal
Titanic
out.
unopened movie. I mean, it's like what?
An unopened
How do
Titanic would be a lot more rare, I'd think, because anybody that bought Titanic had to open it and watch it
you watch
immediately.
it?
They printed a ton of them. I imagine they were thrown out. It would probably be these third type of movies that are foreign or VHS
BB
that
just said
nobody
it in the
watched.
chat, his comment.
Yeah, there you go. Movies that no one watched, things like that. The exclusives are going to become like the final issues of a series that now people want.
Yeah, a lot of stuff in Germany was censored but wasn't here in the States. Like, for example, the video game Left 4 Dead 2, it has a hand coming up and like two fingers are off, like rotted off of the zombie. But in the German edition, it's like just folded over. They're not missing because they censored it. So yeah, a lot of foreign and German, stuff will have a different cover. So I would imagine that's more rare, I guess.
Well, I was aware that VHSs from the 1980s, 1970s horror movies, that there was a premium for that because they were never released on DVD. That kind of makes some sense to me. But then again, I was going to say, try and equal that out to reading comics online or watching a movie that you can just download or stream. Just having that out of print thing and saying, hey, this is so rare is a big deal to some people.
What?
Contra.
Talk about a tough ass game.
Yeah.
I
So
couldn't get past the first level.
I
I
just
suck at games.
I don't
Okay.
know, man. I would imagine video games. There's probably a lot of them out there still that are unopened that you can get graded, and
I
I
have
think the
Uncharted.
population proves that. But
That's unopened.
VHS, I don't know. I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
I might have to do some digging on this.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of stuff that I never cared about that I left unopened that's in boxes in a garage. Maybe I should dig that out, sell that, and get better comics. I'm in the
Yeah.
market for like a Hulk number 3.
You can market it now as
X-Men
ungraded, Rob.
Hey Rob, Spider.
Up, down, down,
Sometimes
left, right, BA, select, start. Alive, motherfuckers. That's going to be on my gravestone.
And then you use the code, and by the third level, man, you already at one life, man.
Yeah. I suck at
That
video
game was
games and I'm
tough.
colorblind.
That game was tough, man. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits here. That's right. 2 hours and 7 minutes. But
Good
Will,
show.
you got anything coming up?
Not at the moment. I plan on doing a Imagivesting, the second part. I did $10,000 invested in comics, imaginary, because I didn't have a spare 10,000, and it's 6 months later. So I'm gonna do a video at some point showing you if I made or lost money, and we talk about it, and maybe in another 6 months or whatever, try again and see what happens. And I did have a video where I opened various books up, watch that, and yeah, I guess I'm.
All right. Rob, you want to plug some shows?
I can plug away. So, Not Near Mint, we do a show every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We wind up having a lot of independent creators on, so that way we let you know what's out there that's a little bit more than just DC and Marvel and capes. Otherwise, we wind up showing new books every week. Right after we do the interviews, we call it comic book therapy. Otherwise, I will be on Lady Fantastic channels later tonight showing this whole huge haul that I wound up picking up last week. And otherwise, if we don't get to see y'all again, we hope you all have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and rule number 1, don't die.
Awesome. And this will be my last show for the year in terms of this show. I won't return until actually New Year's Day, where I will do my 500 subscriber giveaway winner drawings. So if you have not checked out the video, I left a lengthy description in the description section because the video has audio issues. But definitely check that out, and you can either leave a comment for one entry or do a video for two entries. So definitely check that out. I will be on Geek Aficionado's 500 subscriber celebration tonight. I think that'll be at 9 p.m. his time, so that'll be 10 p.m. mine. And Comic Call Crew will be returning next Saturday. 8:45 p.m. Eastern. But other than that, I hope everybody has a great weekend, rest of your weekend, and I hope you have a great week. The holidays are coming, so enjoy the time with your family when Christmas comes by. So
stay safe. You never know if this is going to be the last season that you spend with Grandpa.
Peace out, everybody. Later.
Or Grandma.